Stay tuned and find out why people are failing at high-fat, keto, and carnivore diets, and it has something to do with right there. Welcome everyone to my very humble channel, because I'm living in a camper and it's about to get cold next week. Let's get into it. Why are people failing at high-fat carnivore? Well, number one, they're not eating enough fat. But really, it's because their gallbladder most likely is not functioning properly. And I want to go through some of the signs, symptoms, and remedies. These are my top picks, so stay tuned. I coach so many people and have coached so many people over the years. In the beginning, I didn't understand the gallbladder. That's the freaking organ that's the problem. But it's connected to other organs like your liver and your fat cells. Yes, because if you're producing too much estrogen and your body's getting fat, and if you can't poop, then if you can't poop and you're constipated, where's that poop going? People don't understand that poop sticks to the colon wall like Velcro, and then it attracts the other poop and sticks to the wall like Velcro if you have slow motility or you're chronically dehydrated, which most people have both problems. Most people, not all. Some people have IBS, and very small amount of people have normal functioning bowels. If you are stressed, tired, chronically tired, thyroid, especially the thyroid, people don't realize that when you're stressed or you're not getting the proper nutrition, or your blood sugar's running high and you're not sleeping well, the body will try to slow you down by turning down thyroid hormone. And of course, not that many people have normal functioning bowel movements that are healthy and their gut is balanced. How is this related to the gallbladder? And that's estrogen. You need to poop out estrogen, the excess estrogen, from being estrogen dominant. And unfortunately, so many women and now men are freaking estrogen dominant. And estrogen, xenoestrogens outside of the body, into the body, do a lot of weird signaling for your body to store fat. Men grow boobs like gynecomastia, all kind of nastiness. Push down your progesterone, your testosterone. Men, high levels of dihydrotestosterone. But when that estrogen is too high, it can get, and the liver is not functioning, a lot of estrogen ends up in the liver. And estrogen, too high levels of estrone, too high levels of estrogen, it does havoc on the body. And one of the things is signal the gallbladder to thicken the contents inside of salt. So the gallbladder is an organ that stores a little storage compartment of salt, bile salts from the liver. That's why the liver has to function properly. And things like dehydration play a massive role on how the liver is going to function, and then the kidneys, and then your gallbladder and your pancreas. People are so stressed out today, they're just like running out the door, and they watch these gurus and they're like, prime, eat a ton of protein. Oh, you feel bad? You need to prime harder. Oh, you're not pooping? Oh, that's because you're using all the protein. I mean, just the most junk science I've ever heard in my life. And then people keep coming back with worsening symptoms on carnivore. The type of food that you eat, the chronic dehydration, if you're coming from a low-fat diet, you are at risk of developing malabsorption and not being able to absorb, utilize, and create ketones on a high-fat carnivore or keto diet. I see it all day, every day. It feels like almost every person I consult has a gallbladder issue. And they're like, no, my gallbladder is fine. My gallbladder is absolutely fabulous. And I say to them, okay, how much fat do you eat? Oh, I eat about a tablespoon. And I'm just behooved because a tablespoon is nothing. I can have 10 tablespoons of animal fat for breakfast because plant fats, long chain triglycerides and plant fats, and long chain LCTs and animal fats work very different. Plant fats are much easier to digest than an animal fat if you have a gallbladder issue. Animal fats are thick and chunky, and they require that salt from the liver into the gallbladder to be released through the plumbing to emulsify, scrub it down to little tiny particles so you can absorb it into the bloodstream. And then the fat is loaded with vitamins like vitamin D. You guys are vitamin D deficient. A lot of you people who hit an older age, you lose your eyesight because you're not getting enough retinol. Basically, it's either estrogen or dehydration, or, of course, veganism and the fear of eating fat. Now, there's a lot of fat-phobic people, and they never succeed on carnivore diets over time. Now, you can hear and be in these Facebook groups and see the comments and listen to gurus go like, I've done it for 15 years, and I'm amazing. Guess what? They're not telling you the whole truth. When you do a low-carb, ketogenic, or carnivore diet, you have a very difficult time staying hydrated. I know that because I've done this 16 years. And I'm not going to lie to you. You hit massive walls, heart palpitations, muscle cramps, facial twitching, nausea, so many symptoms, vertigo. I've experienced all of these from not being stringent and tough on balancing my electrolytes, constipation, and of course the effect on your biliary duct system that includes your liver, your kidney, your gallbladder, and pancreas. The body must stay hydrated, and everybody thinks drinking a bunch of water is hydration. It's not. It's about balancing minerals, and then you have to have a strong gut wall to absorb the minerals, to make the bile, to keep the piping to all the organs flowing. And when you do a strict carnivore diet, you're not getting all your minerals. You're just not. And you take out the fiber, and your body's used to insoluble fiber, drawing water to the colon. Now, some people become constipated on fiber because they're just packed in there and they're bulked up, and it's just Velcro to the colon wall. But fiber will draw water in, and you don't need fiber to poop. That is very true. But if you go from one extreme to the next, a lot of people on carnivore will have this like release of bile, and they develop diarrhea on a carnivore diet, or sometimes they'll notice that their poop is green. Y'all are having problems with your gallbladder. Now, there's a lot of things, like I said, the liver function, the kidney function, the gut, because you need stomach acid. And believe it or not, the bacteria in your colon helps peristalsis, because when you have candida, I am telling you, motility slows down. When your thyroid's weird, motility slows down. And people keep getting these stupid thyroid tests thinking that their thyroid is normal when the doctors don't tell you that. They can't see if the thyroid hormone is actually getting into the cell. So we've got estrogen dominant, we've got dehydration. Most people don't know that they are dehydrated, especially once they drop out all those starches and carbohydrates. People, unfortunately, have too many xenoestrogens in their body. Blood sugar that's running too high and insulin can back up the bile, which should be in this watery solution. It backs up and it starts thickening like molasses. And then it can't be released properly to emulsify and break down that fat. And then that fat starts to be toxic to the body. Their body's reabsorbing things, and you become more toxic. And that's why you feel so bad when you try to eat fat when the gallbladder is not functioning properly. I'll say it again, properly. The other reasons on why people develop gallbladder issues besides being afraid of fat is veganism. That is the dumbest diet in the world. And people don't understand that for every one thing that you benefit as a vegan, you take 2 steps down in not getting your fat-soluble vitamins. And of course, the gallbladder not functioning because you have to eat fat. If you're not eating fat, it's just going to thicken. That watery solution turns into molasses, and it does it so easy. Low stomach acid, molasses. Plastic, non-organic, organic vegetables, hormone-injected meats, high estrogen, molasses. Can't sleep, molasses. The low stomach acid, that's a huge one. So things like drinking coffee, molasses. There are so many things like don't drink alkaline water, molasses, meaning it just gets thick like honey. Let's talk about the symptoms. It can be just as simple as, I'm good. I don't want to eat any more fat. If you think that eating more than 2 tablespoons is a lot and you feel full on it, molasses. Your gallbladder is not functioning properly. You can develop either sludge, which is thick, or stones. And if you develop stones, then you really start to have gallbladder attacks. And the gallbladder these stones can get stuck in the plumbing and block the biliary ducts. And then you're just, But if you can schedule your surgery, you can save that gallbladder. So you really have it removed when it's really infected with a ton of stones. So learn more about that. Research more about stones, because a lot of people have stones. It's crazy because they've been eating low-fat diets and all those things I mentioned prior. The low-fat diets, the drinking alcohol, the staying up late, the chronic dehydration, the estrogen dominance, and people don't consider like stress or high blood sugar, high insulin. Like they sit like this, and then all the organs are just smushed and there's just not enough flow through the biliary duct system, the liver function. All of these things play a role in that liquidy fluid backing up and turning into thick molasses. People are doing these keto and carnivore diets and they're just constantly eating not enough fat and not realizing they need to check out their gallbladder. So, what are the symptoms? Like I said, it's going to be the neck pain, it's going to be the heart palpitations, the nausea, the middle of the stomach pain radiating to the back. So a lot of people think they have kidney problems, but it's actually their gallbladder, which is very interesting. You could have middle of the stomach or right side pressure or bloatedness or greasy stool, floating stool, pale stool. Leaky gut will be mixed with yellow and a bit grayish color, and that's our whole video on knowing the difference between leaky gut, lighter color stool, and a sort of ashy, whitish, pale colored stool. Loose stool, diarrhea. People eat, these women who've got thyroid issues who are like, have a hard time pooping because your thyroid issues or hypothyroid can slow down motility and peristalsis, and they eat fat. They're like, oh my God, I love it because I eat all this fat and I finally can start pooping. You're not actually getting it all out. It's still Velcroing to the colon wall. It's your body's desperate attempt to try to get out the toxins when you're hitting that diarrhea. What do you do about this? Sometimes you just have to go off the diet and work on your body, your stress. Sometimes the gallbladder is tight and you have to massage it or find the right supplementation and then go back to a high-fat, ketogenic, or carnivore diet. But if you're doing a keto or carnivore diet and you're having these terrible symptoms, there's no point because you're not going to get into ketosis. You're going to be malabsorptive And over time, it's just going to age you. Oh, one of the main things I forgot, I completely forgot this section, which I think I'm going to throw it in, is fasting. Fasting is a big, huge problem because you're not eating. And the liver is constantly making bile. Drip, 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 drip into the gallbladder, but you're not eating in these long windows. So, molasses, the salts that are flowy get backed up. And so many people I've coached who did all this fasting and intermittent fasting and dry fasting and OMAD. Oh, it's raining. Oh, it's windy or something. They do all this fasting, and then all of a sudden, they don't feel good when they start trying to do a high-fat carnivore diet. Solutions before my horses go berserko, because I'm not feeding them right now. Okay. You can, like I said, you can massage it. That doesn't work. Then you can start going down the dietary way, which is like bitters or lemon water. Milk thistle is a great supplement to help the liver and the gallbladder unthicify. We've got bile salts from a cow. They're called ox bile salts. There's also tutka, which is sort of a synthetic version. It was mimicking the bear bile. Tutka, ox bile. There is taurine and glycine, which helps the release of the bile. Sometimes you need encouraged to release it through the plumbing. You have malic acid, which works sort of like citric acid from lemons to like break up all that thicky nastiness. There is drinking water and getting your minerals in, like your electrolyte minerals, sodium, potassium, magnesium. Let me think. I know there's more. There's a huge list. There's cleanses you can do. People do coffee enemas. Don't do coffee enemas because you're going to like just pull out some beneficial bacteria and you become constipated and you have a gallbladder problem again later. Now, there's another thing that people use with it. It's called beet green juice. Now, I've never heard of that one. People also use choline. So there's all kind of remedies, and I'm telling you, not all of you can do this stuff. You can have histamine responses to this beetroot or choline. You can react to it. Some people don't do well. They just have a tense gallbladder, and then they do bile salts. Now they have too much salt, and so they start to see greenness or burning from the booty hole. They'll get stomach aches if they don't need bile salt and they're adding it when they really just need to get this thing, the muscle, to intensify. Stress plays a huge role. Poor sleep plays a massive role in either developing a tight gallbladder or sludged up or stoned up gallbladder. Yeah, you might just have to get off of a high fat and go to low carb, high fat. Fix the gallbladder, which I should really just do a full video on how to fix it, including the cleanses and the supplements and when to take them and how to take them and symptoms and signs to look for to know what to do next and when to stop. I hope this helps. I really do. If you guys want to learn more, go to stephanieperson.com and book a consultation because I just been doing this a long time. And I work with people and I learn from my clients. That's how I learn. Because I've had so many conversations and notations with people over the years. It's pretty cool. Whew. Now, it's really cold. It's going to get really cold this week. So pray for me. I'm in a camper that's like made out of plastic. I'll be fine. I've been prepping the whole week for this freeze coming. My Instagram is Stephanie Ketogenic. Keto, I cannot speak tonight. My Instagram is Stephanie Ketogenic. My Facebook fan page is Stephanie the Business, as in the body business person. Website, stephanieperson.com. You can also sign up for my monthly subscription course. It's only $15 a month. And I work on all this lovely information through that course. And then also, and the last thing is, I've been talking about this challenge for 6 months and we're almost done. So be patient, people. I haven't released it yet, the signups, not yet, and I'm out. Comment below. Do you have a gallbladder issue? Do you think? Are you not sure? Comment below. I'm curious. Share this content. That's a really huge thing because a lot of people just don't know I exist, and I've been around forever. I'm like a dinosaur. I never will give up. And I think I'm out. Energy. Now I gotta go put on 5 layers of clothing to go and drop some hay to heat up my horses' bodies before I